Alright. Previously on 10 albums in 10 days.
Oh my god!
Hey guys, it's me with a microphone here. Welcome back to 10 albums in 10 days. This is episode 2 of said list. For proper context and rules, you need to head over to episode 1. Now, I had seen this video on Kerrang and maybe Skuzz as well. It was difficult to describe to my friends what it was, and I could never remember it unless it was on. And every time it came on, I always missed the little title card that told you what the song was called and who the band was. But I'd seen it so many times, and I finally caught the title of the song, and it was called Colony of Birchmen by Mastodon. I proceeded to download the Blood Mountain album, and I couldn't really get behind it. Like, I wasn't really feeling the rest of the album as a whole. Then I heard the song Blood and Thunder, and I promptly downloaded the Leviathan album, and I took to that so much quicker than I did the Blood Mountain album. Songs like I Am Ahab, Iron Tusk, Megalodon, Hearts Alive, Naked Burn. Oh, that was so good! But then everything changed. I can't remember how I came across the album, but I definitely bought it upon release. But for the life of me, I have no fucking idea how I heard about it or what song I heard first. But Crack the Skye changed my perception of metal. I think it was the first sort of spacey feel metal that I had heard. And honestly, every fucking song on this album is perfect. I need to get rid of this. Hang on. I have found it profoundly difficult to pick my favourite song on this album. I don't think it's actually fucking possible. You could make compelling arguments for each of them. Crack the Skye was, I'm pretty sure, the first and quite possibly the only album that I have sat down and listened to it from the first song to the last in one sitting and not needed to listen to it again because I liked every single song. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you don't get an immediate reaction from a song, so you have to listen to it multiple times to finally get it. I didn't have that with a single track on Crack the Skye. It was the complete opposite. I connected with each song one after another, and after 50 minutes, I was in awe. Fuck me dead. Devin Townsend, who will definitely be making it on this list, hasn't even had that reaction from me, and he's tattooed on me. Twice. For these videos, I've listened to the album whilst I've been writing the scripts, and I couldn't coherently describe each song enough to do them justice. So instead, here's like a quick list of the songs. Oblivion is awesome. Divinations is a chaotic dance of devastating flame. Quintessence guitar parts can fuck right off with how deliciously complicated they are. The Czar's epic progressive length floors me every single time I listen to it. Ghost of Coralia, whatever it is stunning. Fucking Crack the Skye is beautiful and brutal. And the way the last Baron just keeps going, but isn't boring. It's so good. The narrative that runs through the album is intoxicating. I think it was the first encounter with a concept album for me. The idea of a story going through an album instead of just one song. But even with that, the genius of this album is that you can skip to any song and you wouldn't be lost at all. You can pick and choose whatever you want. You don't have to start at the beginning and then finish at the end. You can... You've got free reign! I truly wish I could go into more detail with this album. I believe that it is a true masterpiece of music. And those who haven't heard this album are less fortunate for not having heard it. I reckon you could use this album as a way to introduce people into metal without scaring them off. There's nothing inherently... angry or hateful with this album, which is what the misconceptions of metal have, unfortunately. Usually when I become so in love with an album, I tend to crave the band's future projects. But this album is completely different. It takes me in the complete opposite direction. Even though Mastodon have released albums since, They could have stopped after Crack the Skye, and I reckon no one would have been upset. Fuck me dead, this album is so good. Divinations and The Tsar were songs that I learned on guitar with my friend Harrison. We used to play them all the time. I couldn't tell you how accurate we were, but for our skill level at the time, it sounded pretty good. That was back when I thought I could sing properly, so that was good times. The complexity of some of the riffs on the album still blow my mind to this day, and the title track just... oh. The line, "Please tell Lucifer he can't have this one. Her spirit is too strong." It honestly chokes me up every single time. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. I'm presuming that it's going to be shorter than the other videos that will be on this list, but I don't really care. If you haven't heard Crack the Skye, stop what you're doing, stop watching this, go and buy it, sit down, put your headphones in, listen to it from start to finish. It's only 50 minutes long, and then come back here and just put in the comments, "Thank you." That being said, I can't say any more about this album, right? It's too good to put into words. So here is the outro screen. There's a playlist here for the rest of the 10 albums in 10 days. Come back tomorrow for the third album on that list. There's also a video that YouTube thinks that you should go and watch as well. Just have a great day. Go listen to this. Stay safe. And you're going to have such a good time if you haven't heard this already. Bye-bye.